So Sega announced that they are delisting over 60 games from Steam, the Nintendo Switch eShop, PlayStation Store, and Xbox. The overwhelming majority of these games are classic Sega Genesis games that have been out there for a long time, like the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive's Classics releases on Steam. There are some other classic games as well that are getting delisted, such as the few Dreamcast games that are on Steam, as well as the re-release of Nights into Dreams that came out a while back. For Nintendo Switch, this does not affect the Sega Genesis games that are part of Nintendo Switch Online, nor does it apply to any of the Sega Ages reissues. All of the games that are part of this delisting will be taken off of these digital stores on December 6th of this year. So if you want any of these games, you're better off getting them ASAP. Don't wait. Also, if you have these games in your digital libraries already, you will get to keep these games in your library, which is a good thing. Now here is my problem with all of this so far. Why are they doing this so quickly without any plan to replace any of these releases? I understand wanting to replace these old releases with something better. For example, the Sega Genesis games that are on Steam, the emulation is not so great on them. I know from personal experience as well that Crazy Taxi on Steam is not a great port, and even lags behind some of the older ports of this game like the GameCube port, let alone the Dreamcast version. However, I really enjoyed the Nights into Dreams re-release on Steam, and sadly that's going away as well. Same thing with the Steam port of Jet Set Radio. Unfortunately, Sega has announced no plans yet to re-release any of the games they are pulling. No compilations, nothing. So basically, they've decided to walk away from money with no plans to offer consumers a new way to play these older games. That makes no sense at all from a business standpoint. If these games are not on digital storefronts, Sega is not making money off of them. Now we can debate the quality of these offerings, but since Sega isn't offering any alternatives yet that are coming soon, this is mostly irrelevant if you ask me. Plus, none of these games have licensing issues because these are Sega-owned games. Even Crazy Taxi doesn't have this issue anymore, as Sega replaced the music in the re-release that's getting pulled from Steam. The reality is, there is no guarantee that Sega will re-release these games anytime soon. They may take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, who knows? Look at how Epic Games did away with all the old Unreal games. They pulled all of them from digital storefronts like Steam and Good Old Games, and have not re-released them at all. And it has been almost 2 years now. They were going to re-release Unreal Tournament 3 at one point, but then they mysteriously got rid of that from Steam. So why should we trust any of these companies to do the right thing and replace these offerings with other options in a timely manner? I know I don't. Sega might even do something stupid like make their own game streaming service and make these games exclusive to that. We really don't know what these anti-consumer corporations are going to do next. They need to prove themselves and earn our trust. They are not entitled to our money. So how should Sega have handled all of this? Well, all you have to do is look at how Atari handled Atari 50 and Atari Vault. So Atari decided to replace the Atari Vault compilation with Atari 50 a couple years ago. Now here's the thing. They did not get rid of Atari Vault until the day before Atari 50 came out. They had already announced Atari 50 well in advance, so consumers knew a successor of some sort was coming. And now Atari 50 isn't a perfect replacement per se, as it does lack some games here and there that were present in Atari Vault. On the other hand, it also has a lot of games that were not originally in Atari Vault, like all of the Atari 7800, Atari Lynx, and Jaguar games. Not to mention that it is supposed to be a celebration of Atari's history instead of just being another compilation. Overall, Atari did a good job of handling this situation and delisted Atari Vault in probably the best way possible. More companies should handle this like Atari instead of the way Sega is doing right now. And one last thing is that sometimes companies do listen to the fans and change their plans for the better. id Software deserves some credit for making the original Doom 3 available again on Steam and elsewhere years ago. Whenever the BFG edition of the game was released, the original Doom 3 was pulled. However, after enough feedback from fans who pointed out the significant differences between the two versions of the game, id Software changed course and made the original available again. Our voices matter more than we realize, and so do our decisions as consumers. These companies need us to make money and to help them make new customers. But anyways, I just wanted to get this out really quickly to address an obvious problem here. I hate it when these gaming companies do this. I think gamers should demand answers from Sega, and so should the gaming press for that matter. Unfortunately, the gaming press nowadays is mostly useless, so we can't really count on them anymore. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.